Therefore, I want to express our approaches to post-war situation, to situation related to regional security in the Caucasus. Azerbaijan won the war was just, the war was inevitable, and it led to restoration of justice, international law, and national dignity of Azerbaijani people. Now we talk about peace. And I think it's one of the unique cases in the world that after such a long-lasting confrontation, within a short period of time, the country which restored justice and defeated aggressor offers peace. If you look at the history of wars, not in many cases one can see this picture. But why we select peace? Because we want stable, sustainable development in the Southern Caucasus. It's a unique opportunity. Southern Caucasus was disintegrated throughout the years of independence of free countries of Southern Caucasus. For 30 years, it was disintegrated because of Armenian occupation. So now it's a time to establish peace, establish cooperation, and Azerbaijan is working on that. With respect to process of normalization of relations with Armenia, we suggested, it was our proposal, to start working on peace agreement. Armenia did not respond. Then we made another step. We put forward 5 basic principles of international law, including respect to mutual respect and recognition of territorial integrity of both countries, and mutual refrain from any territorial claims now and in the future, and other principles which make the bulk of our proposal. And we were glad to see that Armenian government accepted these 5 principles. So this is a positive dynamics, but now we need to move to practical implementation, because we know from the history of times of occupation when we were negotiating that sometimes words, even on high level, articulated by Armenian officials do not mean a lot, because we need steps. And Azerbaijan already on its side established Azerbaijani Commission on peace agreement, and we expect the same to be done by Armenia. As soon as it is done, or if it is done, then negotiations will start. We also put forward a proposal to start the process of delimitation of our border, because biggest part of our border was also under occupation, and never delimitation took place. Therefore, this process also has started, and the first joint meeting of the border commissions of Azerbaijan and Armenia took place last month on the border. And that was also symbolic that both sides met on the border, and that was also an important message that there'll be progress. Of course, we understand that it's a long way, but it started. And also, it creates a kind of a disbalance in the region, because based on the same declaration, Azerbaijan undertook obligation to provide unimpeded access from Armenia to Karabakh region of Azerbaijan, where Armenian population lives. So for 1.5 years, Armenians are using Lachin road to have this connection, unimpeded connection. But Azerbaijanis, they cannot use the road through Armenia, Zengezur corridor, to connect us with Nakhchivan. And this is not fair, and this is not just, and we will never agree with that. Therefore, I think that the deliberate delays from Armenian side of giving us this access is counterproductive. It reminds me of the times of negotiations where Armenia was delaying, and just winning time. And what was the result of that? The result was total defeat on the battlefield, and on political arena. The result was that Armenian ideological basis was totally dismantled, and almost 30 years of occupation didn't make Armenian people happier. On the contrary, they have been known by the world community as occupants and aggressors. And after the war ended, now everybody can see what ruins they left during the times of occupation. Therefore, the soonest resolution of the opening of Zengezur corridor is one of the fundamental elements of future peace in the region. If we are not given this access, then it will be difficult to talk about peace. And all efforts of Azerbaijan aimed at normal coexistence and normal neighborhood with Armenia will fail. Another issue which I also want you to know is also speculations about the activity of Minsk Group. Minsk Group was created in 1992. The mandate was to help to resolve the conflict, but de facto activity led to zero result. Can you imagine, for 28 years, a group which has a mandate from OSCE didn't produce any result. And therefore, after Azerbaijan resolved Karabakh conflict, the need for Minsk Group activity is no longer here. And we think that everybody understands it. Especially after Russian-Ukrainian war, it's clear that three co-chairs of the Minsk Group cannot get together. And we already received these messages that Minsk Group will not, the co-chair institute of this group will not function. In other words, Minsk Group is dysfunctional. Therefore, the attempts of revival also is counterproductive. I think the best way is to say goodbye to Minsk Group